More than 6 million Americans suffer from Alzheimer's. It is a debilitating diagnosis that has no cure. But now a new experimental drug is providing hope to patients in the earliest stages of the disease. Nearly half of all participants in a recent study had no clinical progression after 1 year of taking donanemab, according to Eli Lilly. Compare that to 29% of participants who were given the placebo. The drug also appeared to slow the cognitive and functional decline in early onset patients by 35% compared to those on the placebo. Eli Lilly says it will use these results to file for FDA approval by the end of June. Joining us now is Dr. Robert Vassar. He is the director of the Alzheimer's Disease Research Center at Northwestern University. Doctor, good to have you here. People are going to get excited when they hear this. There's no treatment right now for Alzheimer's. And this new drug slows the rate of decline in early Alzheimer's patients, but it does not improve one's memory and brain function or cure it.
No, it doesn't, Elizabeth. It does slow the decline, which is something in terms of this disease, which we've had virtually no disease-modifying therapies for since its discovery by Dr. Alzheimer back in 1905. So this is really huge progress. It is the second what is called immunotherapy against A-beta. There was another one that was approved and rolled out last fall called lecanemab from the company Eisai. And so together, these two immunotherapies show that removal of a substance in the brain called amyloid, that removal of this amyloid in the brain is beneficial, clinically beneficial for early Alzheimer's disease.
It shows in some patients that
but it doesn't cure it.
It shows in some patients that there's a 35% slower decline in memory. What amount of time are we talking about here? Is it buying somebody months or years?
Well, at this point, it looks like on the order of maybe 6 months. And the real promise is moving forward. This was an 18-month trial, and there will be a phase of the trial called the open label extension, in which everyone in the trial will be given the drug and studied over, perhaps years. Our hope is that patients will eventually slow their decline, stop it, and level off and be stabilized at some level. Which, depending on what that level could be very significant.
And what percentage of the patients in the trial showed this slower memory decline?
Virtually all of them did to some level. I think that the 35% decline was an average of all the patients that were in this study of over 1,000 patients. And so some obviously must have had even more improvement than 35%, others less. But I think, you'd have to say that this is an average. Maybe some people maybe did not have a very significant effect, but others had better.
And very quickly, doctor, this drug, unlike the other one, which was for late-stage Alzheimer's, this drug is for early-stage Alzheimer's patients. What does that mean? Is that in the first 6 months of diagnosis, the first year of diagnosis or symptoms? What does that mean?
Well, it means that people are in the early symptomatic phase of Alzheimer's disease. It would be in the condition called mild cognitive impairment or mild dementia from Alzheimer's disease. I should point out the other drug was, both of these drugs are for late onset Alzheimer's disease, not early onset, as you said earlier. The group were individuals 60 to 85 years old. And so this would be available for all Alzheimer's patients if it gets approved.
Dr. Vassar, I'm sorry, we're out of time. Thank you so much. This is great news for millions of Americans who have a family member or are themselves suffering from Alzheimer's. We appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.